God body is simple. It means you see God when you look in the mirror, and that the body of man is God, and that there's no mystery God in the sky. You are God.
And we are back. Another episode of the Anabolic Mind. I got my man JJ here. He's going to talk about motorcycle riding, wellness, and how it impacted his life. JJ's been, well, you can introduce yourself. Introduce yourself for fan people, JJ.
Yeah, so I met Mark about, I think in 2016. I was working, just coming out of the music industry and getting into sales for the first time. And I just wanted something that would give me an edge, sales-wise, something to give me confidence, a little more pep in my step, if you will. So, I wanted the best training. I mean, I looked around for a lot of different people, and I just saw the people you'd worked with. So I reached out, and that's how we connected. And it's, over the years, it's definitely given me a really good base to stay healthy. And then, anyway, during the pandemic, I was working out from home for a while.
What year was that? What year was that we connected?
That was 2016, it was either end of 2016, early 2017.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, after that, I got in the best shape of my life.
But wait. Let's talk about the music connection. So you can play guitar, and you can take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was working as a guitarist for a long time, and I'd actually worked in certain circles with artists that had actually worked with Mark in the past. So I knew that if I was going to call somebody, at first I was kind of concerned about the cost, but I was just so committed to getting in the best shape of my life that I didn't care. I just was willing to make that investment because it was for the accountability as well as just feeling my best. And yeah, I felt like if I got the right person to work with, I would get the result I was after, and I did.
And how about your age and your marital status, kids? Just give everybody the full thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm 36 now. I think I started working with you when I was like 30, 31, 30.
Wow, time flies, bro.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. So so I have one child. She's 6, and I have a partner who I've been with for 6 years. That's actually almost 7 years now.
Wow, it's crazy, man. Time definitely, and a dog, and you got a dog.
I got a dog too. Yeah, so he's more work than the kid for sure.
Oh yeah, big dog. You got a big dog. JJ has a
𝙁𝙗𝙖𝙧𝙗 𝙁𝙚.
Yeah, they're big dog, big beautiful dogs. But anyway, so and your mentor Spanky, Spank, I was actually on tour with him on D'Angelo Voodoo tour, and shared many road stories, hotels, and all of that shit, man. So it's a crazy small world. Rest in peace.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate. I never got to meet Spanky, but a guy who mentored me was mentored by Spanky.
Okay.
I met his wife many years later. I think it was probably in 2011 or 2012, and she was so sweet to me. She was really nice. Anyway, he just had such an impact on so many people, and it was one regret I had is that I never reached out to try to get a lesson or meet with him. So, but
it's always funny to me because I'm out on the road, with these artists, and usually I'm the only one who has no musical talent, who's not like the fucking genius, who plays an instrument, and I'm just walking around checking out all of these, and then people are telling me this is so and so Spanky, he's one of the best guitarists, D'Angelo's telling me ever, and this is Ray Angry, and this is this person, and this is that person, this is Pino, and I'm like, wow, man, it's so cool to be just a fly on the wall. I can't do anything with the information because I don't even play the instruments, but it's cool to watch people who are masters at their craft put it together. Absolutely. And their approach, and it definitely influenced me as a trainer as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you found yourself out of shape, right? You wanted to do some different stuff entrepreneurial, and you wanted to get yourself in shape. So we connected in you said 2016.
Yeah. So what happened was actually I was coming out of I was touring in Argentina. I was down there. Actually, I was kind of down there to try and get away from music for a little bit, just take a break from it. And then my plan was to come back and go, full on and really push my career. anyway, you know, the universe has a weird way of working. And when I got back for a little bit, I ended up meeting a girl who's now my partner, and I found I was going to be a father. And the reality was I didn't have many gigs lined up, and I'd always been in sales or worked in retail environments. So I decided, you know, I just couldn't put my kid through that. And I just decided to pursue a career in sales and, you know, still pursue music as a passion. But, you know, I reading on sales, I mean, there's so much things about body language in this, and what I wanted was every edge I could get, and confidence is a huge one. And I knew from fitness, aside from confidence, it also teaches you the skill of discipline, you know, because what you put in, you get out. And yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So then you started training, and you got yourself in pretty good shape and transformed yourself. And how did that correlate into your money situation, getting into sales?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, it definitely affected it a ton because, you know, the truth is when you're working in sales, it's not really a job, it's more of a lifestyle. So you have to be a master of your time. So it just kind of trained me to budget my time. And you know, when you become a dad for the first time, you learn how to use little pockets of time really well. And yeah, just it helped with time management. But you know, the biggest things were just confidence, just the way I carried myself in an environment. It's just, you know, I had less need for things because I felt, you know, very fulfilled just being healthy, you know, just a sense of, you know, what's the word? Just a sense of accomplishment that it gives you just being that way. Like it just was very empowering for me to know that, you know, if I put the work in, it might not happen overnight, but it would come about. And, you know,
got you.
Apply that to sales and everything else I do. It helped a lot. Yeah.
I remember when I had the little ones and I was training, you know, people would always ask me like, damn, man, you're raising the kids and you're going to the gym. Is that more? But I always found it as more of a taking an hour of solitude to put the energy back into myself. How was it for you?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's very quickly became that. At first, it was obviously a chore because, you know, I was working out, you know, previously, you know, before we connected, but it was, you know, I was just doing what everyone else was doing, going to bodybuilding.com, picking up a plan that,
right,
you know, didn't really suit me well, and basically. Sorry, can you rephrase the question?
Oh yeah. How was that? Did you find it more of a solitude, or
yes,
more of a chore?
Yeah,
when you were in the midst of raising the newborn and trying to get in shape. So I think that's important for people to, you know, because a lot of times when people get busy is when they stop exercising.
100%.
You know, but that's when you actually need it the most. So you have the energy and your immune system enhanced, so you can tackle the extra stuff that you're doing. So was it more of a burden for you, or did it turn into more of a refuge?
Yeah. So initially, yeah, starting on, it was a bit of a chore because it was more accountability on the line. It was more regimented. I'd never really ironed out my diet. It was kind of like I would yo-yo diet. I would eat healthy 4 or 5 days a week, and then I'd go out and drink all weekend and kind of do the whole thing. So initially, it was more. It's funny, once you kind of get into a diet mode, you know, even though you think it's going to be easy leading up to it, then, you know, the first thing that you want to do when you get into that mode is like eat something bad, right? And for me, it started off as a chore, but then again, I was seeing results so quickly that I really got committed, and it really became more about that bigger vision I had for myself at the end of it, right? So yeah, early on, sure, it was a bit of a chore, but once you saw the results, I mean, after a couple of weeks, I was already seeing results.
Peace, fam. I want to take a break from today's episode to personally invite you to the WINJECT community. This is the community where I'm hosting all of my fitness challenges, giving all of my tips, where you can interact with me and my guests. Join the community. It's 100% free to sign up, and we'll see you inside, man. Back to today's episode. Peace and love.
Right.
And from there, it was made so much easier for me just to stay committed. You know, I had this vision of who I was going to be. It's just amazing how much you can transform yourself, not just physically, but even mentally in a couple of months, just from to putting in the work.
Yeah, well, I think it's a self-perception, how you perceive yourself. You're always that champion, but when you see a physical manifestation of something you're putting together, you're like, wow, I am that champion. I am doing that, making that manifest every day. And then, once you see it as such, then you start to manifest as such, and then that reinforces it.
Absolutely.
So, it's definitely important. There's also for a stress release. What was your partner's perception at this time? How did her perception change of you getting in shape, or how did she view you? And what's her journey?
Yeah. So, Meg is, she's got really great genetics. Like, she doesn't have to do a whole lot to stay healthy and look fit.
Right.
She comes from more of like an Eastern European background where they're just tall and skinny and beautiful. And, my dad's, naturally fairly fit, without doing, well, he always worked physical jobs. So that's probably what kept him, more physically fit. But my mother definitely has more of an endomorph. So like, me, if I look at a piece of something fatty, it was,
right. Like, that's me too.
Yeah. So I guess I'd somewhere in the middle, but anyway, she was obviously the love of attraction. It was definitely, it definitely went up. She was, complimenting me all the time. And, she always wanted to,
right. I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that was a boost. So what happened with the, so you're living in Canada?
Yeah.
Right. I don't think we mentioned that. So you're living in Canada now. So did that translate into you being more active as a dad, more, how'd that go? Or you didn't really have any time out of shape being a dad because you started your transformation?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, she was about 6 months old, and I was actually, I was out of the gym for about 6 months prior to that. So I just knew, like, okay, so one missing ingredient from my life. And it's like, I don't, maybe not everyone needs to work out, but for me, I knew that I could be better. I could be a lot better, in fact. And it was, sorry, could you rephrase the question again?
No. You answered it. So what I'm going to go to, I want to ask you another one.
Yeah.
How does it go with work? How do your people perceive you at work, and where you're working at now? So let's talk about that and how we connected on
yeah. So it's, I'm working as an internet manager at a Harley-Davidson dealership now. And, I've always been pretty good at sales. I've always been kind of, top 5% in the company, just because, I'm a student of the craft, and, I try to do the things to get better at it. But, there's certain things that have separated me from other people that I work with, and, physical fitness, kind of not engaging in certain behaviors like, drinking after work, eating lunch with the guys, unhealthy shit, burgers. It kind of puts a separation between them and me. And it's not an intentional hierarchy I'm trying to set up. It's just,
it's just how it goes, right?
It's just how it goes. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, and they're welcome to think what they want. For me as a salesperson, when it comes to colleagues, frankly, if you're not here if I can't sell you a motorcycle, I don't really want to fucking talk to you, right? So
right. You're at work to work.
I'm here to work. I'm here to sell bikes, right? And just that alone kind of puts a barrier. Puts a
barrier, right? Interesting.
Yeah, and so like again, it all comes.
Well, are most of the guys working out? What percentage would you say?
0%.
Yeah, because it's funny with motorcycles. I've been riding for the last 25 years, and it's funny. There's so many things that we connect on. With the music and the fitness and the and now the motorcycles, because JJ was able to hook me up in New York with the new Harley Pan America. Check my IG last month. So shout out to Harley Canada, man. You guys definitely looked out, and Aaron as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Aaron for looking out. But it's funny. You would think that riders would eat better because it's a physical activity, but riders have the worst eating habits. But out of the riders, the group, like when you go to Harley Davidson's things, they always have like the most decadent food as opposed to the Triumph or other motorcycles. So the culture is even more. And do you think that's an American thing, being a Canadian, or why do you think that is? I've never been to a Harley dealership in Canada, but when you go to the ones here, the food that they have, like when they have the things going on, There's nothing healthy. You go to some other ones, they might have a healthy option. That's small. But
it's not that much different here. You know,
Okay.
I find Canada tends to follow suit in a way we're kind
Interesting.
of, in the context of a Harley Davidson dealership, I feel like we're trying to embody that of the best of what American dealerships have to offer. So no, man, we're doing the same shit.
You got the same donuts and all
barbecue and burgers and beer and.
I thought it might be different. I thought it might be different in Canada because
but you know what I'll say about Canada, and I think it's like this, especially where you're at, California, a lot of the blue states.
It might be healthier here in California than Canada, just because.
Yeah, and it's multicultural too,
Yeah.
right? It's very multicultural. You know, I deal with a lot of Sikh riding groups. I mean, Canada's biggest minority group that, like, for people that come in or immigration for the year is generally the Indian population. So I get a ton of Sikh riding groups. I get just people from India in riding groups.
Interesting.
Hispanic. Obviously there's the regular hog members, which are predominantly, white folk. And then you have, we've got some black riding groups. It's probably a little bit more multicultural than a lot of Harley dealerships that you might see in the United States. But aside from that, I mean, internally it's
the same.
Yeah.
I thought it was a secret Canada diet.
No.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. That's good to know. I got my stereotype shattered. That was good.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. Because Americans usually look at Canadians like, wow, they're doing it better. The food's a lot better. It's healthier there. They're eating better. So there's a stigma. So that's good to know. It's humanizing to you guys that you guys actually eat junk food at Harley. That's what's up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd say like, I mean, the powers that be, a lot of the people that run those sorts of events, Harley related, biker night kind of stuff, they're probably more the right leaning kind of, guns and barbecues and that sort of stuff. And
yeah, but it's interesting because even when I sometimes I'll pull over, right? I'll be riding the bike and then I'll pull over, stretch on my motorcycle. I'll do like a 5-10 minute little stretch. Somebody will see me pulled over, another rider, he thinks I'm in distress, so he'll pull over and he'll be like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just stretching. And they give me like the most alien look, like, no, you don't stretch, you ride it. Like, where are you going? Oh, 200 miles. I said, you don't stretch, dude? What you just do? Get off the bike? Like, it's crazy. So it's interesting how the fitness has not permeated the motorcycle community and in general, other than the racers, because they have to work out. They're actually on strict regimens, core work, all kinds of stuff, lifting weights. The racers are actually in the gym, but it hasn't really crossed over to consumer fitness and wellness. Interesting.
No, I know. But what's interesting about what you said is just the fact that someone pulled over for you. I mean, the brotherhood is real. I mean, that's
The brotherhood is real. I always appreciate it because when I pull over, like to pee or to stretch. 9 times out of 10, there's some other rider pulling over, or at least slow down and
make sure you're good.
Make sure you're good, and then keep on going. So that that's one thing that's cool about one of many things that are cool about riding is the brotherhood, and it's not even a race thing. It's like people don't even know your race because you got the helmet on and the gloves, you're covered up, man. They just see it, and it doesn't matter. So that's cool.
I find like the healthier groups I see in the motorcycle community are definitely. The ADV guys seem to be, kind of that, more affluent, but certainly more on the health kind of conscious side. Obviously the racers, like you said, are But, it's funny. Harley is kind of, it's different, but I would say predominantly there's certainly not health and wellness has not hit that community as much.
Right. So right now I got the can you talk about the bike that I have now from Harley that I'm using right now? So you know more about it than I. So go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I would, like a lot of people with Harley Davidsons, the big part of it is the personalization, right? Mm-hmm. So you have the top of the line model and the Road Glide, which is what you're riding, is a CVO. So generally CVO is looked at as like a set it and forget it. You buy that motorcycle and you don't really need to do anything to it. Basically anything you add to it, you're almost taken away from its beauty, right? Because it's custom paint, custom everything kind of thing.
The pipes are black. It's crazy.
Yeah, and what is so cool about the ST model that you're running is that basically it gives you the performance enhancements of the CVO without without all the extras that constitute the added cost. Because in Canada you're about about $14,000 more for CVO than an ST. And what's cool about that, it leaves that much room if you have the dough for personalization, because it's a big part of the process. I mean, generally, I think it's the same in the United States, but hardly, if you're financing more, so they'll approve you for about 160% of the whole cost. Meaning they're going to give you that extra amount if you want to personalize.
Right, if you want to get it fresh, right.
So the ST model, I mean, for me, is the epitome of a great bike for someone who wanted to buy a Road Glide and kind of trick it out and make it their own, right? They can take that extra,
and it's fine factory. I mean, the tech is great. You can just get on it and do its thing. It handles great. I have no complaint. The engine is super crazy. It's the biggest engines, right?
Yeah, well, out your way. I mean, performance bagger has become really popular. So there's now a race series where guys are racing these things.
Yeah.
The Challengers, they're racing Road Glides, and that bike was kind of a testament to that. I mean, generally, it's very likely that someone buying an ST is probably going to put taller shocks in the back. They're going to run a 2-in-1 pipe, and it's going to be grounded around performance. So big motor, big suspension, and screw all the other bells and whistles kind of thing.
And I like the sound, man. SB, you can still hear the radio, man. You go 120, 100, you can still, it's clear, man. I'm like, oh shit, they got the wind buffeting pretty good on that bike, man.
Peace fam, before I end today's episode, I just wanted to answer a question I frequently get asked. Number one question, how can I get my content out there? How can I interact with my audience? And my answer is always WINJECT Studios. This is where I'm getting all of my stuff edited. This is where I'm posting all of my challenges. This is where I'm interacting with all of my fans and followers. This is where I'm giving all my fitness tips. This is where all the people, all of you people can interact with the people who I'm interviewing on the podcast. You can get better insight. I suggest you do the same thing. It's 100% free to sign up, and I'll see you back inside. Thanks for watching.
And it's great.
Yeah, so with the Road Glide, I mean, you have a fixed fairing on it, so there's no buffeting. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's the best handling bagger that you can buy. Street Glide is nice, for someone who likes more of a timeless aesthetic. But from a handling perspective, if you're on a windy day, I mean, there's nothing that cuts a wind like a Road Glide. Street Glide with the fairing mounted to the forks, you have a strong gust of wind can influence the steering on the bike. So that's why the Road Glide's so cool. And I think last 2 years, Road Glide has outsold Street Glide. So Street Glide used to be the #1 seller. Now it's
Road Glide.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your dream bike?
Wow, that's tough, man. I mean, it's hard, right? When you work in a Harley dealership, I get to ride this stuff for free, right? Like,
you can't beat it. You can't beat it, man. It's great.
When I think about bikes, I mean, and it's funny. So coming from the music industry, I worked in guitar stores for a long time as well, and when you work in that industry, especially, let's talk about guitars, you find that there's a weapon for every situation, right?
Yeah,
it's like
the same thing with bikes. It's true.
It is, right? So you get into a situation where, like, shit. Now, I mean, on one hand, you could say something like a Pan America, a BMW, GSA, or something like that. It checks every box, right? But at the end of the day, let me ask you, like, would you rather be riding like 800 miles on that Road Glide, or would you rather be riding 800 miles on the Pan America? Answer that. You'd rather go on the Road Glide, right?
That's definitely more comfortable, yeah, because you got your feet out, man.
Exactly. So you realize that there's not one size fits all kind of thing. I mean, you can make there's multiple bikes, but
yeah, that's why people have multiple bikes in the first place, because it's true. It's a good answer.
It's an ever evolving scale too, right? Probably if you asked me 5 years ago, I'd say like an H2 R. But now that I'm a family man, I mean,
it changes as you change.
I asked. My friend has one, and I remember talking to him, and he basically said every time he parks it back in the garage, he feels like he got away with something, or he cheated death that day. And I'm like, man, I don't think I could live with that kind of thing.
That's funny. That's funny. H2. That's funny. What tips can you give to dads, people in your situation who are trying to get in shape and also trying to live an inspired life, occupational wise?
Yeah, I mean,
give me like 3 tips. One for fitness. Go ahead.
For sure. Yeah. So fitness. I mean, again, you know, you need to look 10 years into the future, right? And think about your, you know, let's just say you're 36 like me, and you need to look at your 46-year-old self, and really, you know, that guy can be one of two people, right? He can be 46 and look 56, or he can be 46 and look 26.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, you know, but anyway, I'm kind of getting besides the point, but, you know, you don't have to really, it's a daily practice. It's small changes. You know, you start with, you know, fixing up your diet, and then you start with getting the proper help, you know, the right fitness program. You know, I think, are you able to edit this? Sorry, I apologize. I don't mean to.
No, you're good. You're good. I know you're not used to doing interviews. It's fine. Let me ask you another one.
Yeah.
What is the, what can you say to people entrepreneurial wise? Because now you found your niche, you found something that you actually do. You're a writer.
Yeah.
You're able to turn that into making a living. So that makes you more effective than just selling something that you weren't possibly interested in. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what can you say to people as far as that?
I mean, building a strong foundation in sales. I mean, just, you know, reading the material. I mean, I think sales is a foundation. It's a foundational skill for any entrepreneur. I mean, I think it's. I mean, we sell no matter what we're doing, right? So I think treating it like a journeyman skill, and doing the things foundationally that will get you further ahead. I mean, reading the books. I mean, most people think about entrepreneurship or sales or any of these sorts of things like you have it or you don't. But the truth is,
you can develop these skills.
100%. It's something that you build on, and that's kind of the point I was trying to allude to with the fitness part. Is that it's like, you know, you don't want to go too hard out of the gate. You want to kind of make small lifestyle changes that ultimately will change your trajectory from, you know, say 10 years down the road or whatever. Because I find in my experience, I've tried to go really hard overnight, and, you know, I burned out. You know, it's always been easier for me to change my habits 1% of the time and
slow and steady.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just entrepreneurially though, I think just doing the types of things that, I mean, there's no real secrets. I mean, to it. I mean, you just gotta get in there and do it. Okay. So my third question for you is, what did you eat today? Right? And how has your diet impacted you? Or how is that the most important part? Or do you feel that's the most important part? Well, it's funny, actually, you know.
First, what did you eat today?
Yeah, okay. So I've been intermittent fasting. So I usually eat about 1-2 every day. So I've basically been alternating between. I'm going to answer the question.
No. You are answering it. Go ahead. You are. Okay. Yeah.
So I've been alternating between predominantly chicken breast or turkey breast and you know, lean cuts of beef. So I made an eye of the round roast. Mm-hmm. So I do about 100 grams of eye of the round roast cooked, just with, you know, a little bit of salt, a little pepper, seasoning, nothing too crazy. Brown rice and broccoli, and then I'll probably have something similar tonight. So I'm eating like 2 meals a day. That are so anyway, for lunch I had it was a roast beef, steamed broccoli, and I had some brown rice as well, and then I had one of the oh my god, the shakes,
performance.
I had the one, exactly, from the kit from Christie.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now, how does your diet? Is that the most impactful thing to you? What tips can you give people as far as eating wise, being a dad, being entrepreneurial, and working in sales? Like, what can you say diet wise?
Yeah. Well, here, what's good about it is it takes the guesswork out of what you got to eat, right? I mean, we spend so much time deciding what the hell we're going to eat. You know, just having it prepared and ready. Like, I don't have to think about it. I can take 15 minutes out of my day, and then I can get right back to work.
So you meal prep. So you're saying meal prepping is really the key to staying on the diet long term.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it's too easy to get off of it if you don't. Like if you're not prepared, it's so easy for you to just be like, especially in an emotional state when you're hungry, right? I mean, I'm the kind of person that gets like hangry. If I'm hungry,
you get cranky, huh?
I get a little cranky, and like I can get almost irrational, right? So, if I don't know exactly what I'm going to eat, I could go anywhere and end up eating anything.
Oh yeah. It might go crazy. Yeah, you're supposed to eat, and guys, eat before you get hungry. When you're hungry, your body's already feeding off its own muscle tissue, so you're already in a catabolic state, and you're more apt to eat anything because at that point you want to eat anything. So you have to schedule your meals before you get hungry.
100%. So another great point to why like meal prepping is good. And
yeah, so you can, this way you have the food there. You're not starving and trying to cook, or starving looking at the menu. So that's a good tip. So hey, man, hey, shout out your dealership, and definitely give them the website if people want to get out there in Canada and get a ride and get a Harley. Give them that, and then we're going to close it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I work at Blackbridge Harley-Davidson in just outside of Toronto, Canada. We've supplied bikes to Mark Jenkins, Jason Momoa. We've done some pretty cool shit here. You can find us at www.blackbridgeharley.com. And any leads you send in regarding any motorcycles that we sell will come directly to me. So, yeah, I look forward to hearing from you.
And if you wanna check on JJ's diet, hit him up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You don't want to say that because you have all kinds of people you never know, man. It's getting a lot of views on WINJECT. So shout out to Chris Ross and WINJECT. JJ, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate
and
you.
We're gonna end it out, man. You guys watch your diet. Thanks for viewing. And if you don't ride, I tell you guys, get your license so you can just rent a bike, jump on a bike, get the experience, because it's nothing like the sunset on a highway. It's a spiritual experience, man. I wish everybody could get that feeling on a super bike that I have, on a really clean Harley, and you're rolling with your music on, you got your phone synced in, and you catch that sunset or sunrise. Guys, you got to try it. So I encourage you guys, get your license, man. You may not never use it, but it's always good to know how to ride a bike, just in case you got to jump on one. You're in another country, you want to rent something, or you want to do something cool with your partner, you can just jump on a bike and take a little cruise and see the city in a different way. So thank you for being on, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Man. Appreciate you, Mark.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Let me get that outro going. I almost forgot. Almost ended without the outro. Peace and love, fam.